welcome to the Citrus County Chronicle. We have all survived the primary election season, and now we're deep into the general election season. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit down with those candidates that you're going to see on the general election ballot and spend a few minutes with them, chatting with them, so you get to know a little bit more about them and their candidacy. I am joined today by Linda Powers. She is the incumbent candidate for the School Board District 5 seat. So welcome, Linda, and glad to have you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Linda, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about your background?
Okay. In the background, I've been a teacher and administrator in many, many different jobs. Worked for the newspaper, wrote a column for the newspaper on education. And I was thinking of you all this morning coming in. It wasn't difficult to write on education. You have one topic you're writing on. There's very little controversy once in a while. Mm-hmm. But y'all wake up every morning to the world going crazy. You have to write stuff about all. And I thought, I don't think I could do that. There'll be so many different topics.
Sure. Our industry has certainly changed over the 28 years I've been here, right?
Absolutely. And I came, David Arthur was here, and it was a whole different era,
So you've spent a fair amount of time on the board, right? Where are you at in your 18 years?
Yes, I was elected in 2004, taking the place of Sam Himmel, who ran for superintendent and gained the title of superintendent. So I was then elected to take her position, and I've been elected every time since then. In fact, the Chronicle has endorsed me every single time until recently. It's a different year, but 5 times actually.
Very good, very good. So let's get into just a couple things that it might be important to the folks in our community. One of the things that I know that the Citrus County School District is struggling with is vacancies. Right, and everything from bus drivers to teachers and everything in between, and that's not necessarily unique in Citrus County, right? 67 counties in the state, many counties are struggling with that same thing. But what are your ideas to help kind of Citrus County right that ship? What are the things that you want to bring to the board, that you want to implement, that'll help fill those vacancies so that we have the bus drivers that we need, so we have the trained staff in the classrooms that we need?
Well, my area is mental health. And we need more people in mental health to work with the students. And I know every place I go, I don't care if it's McDonald's, if someone's there and they want to talk about vacancies in the school system, I do. In fact, I was visiting someone, 3 or 4 days ago down at Citrus Memorial, and there was a nurse there who was talking about maybe she wanted to get into the school system and be part of the medical program in the school system. So I explained to her what we did and that sort of thing. But there's a stopping point always. That people go, how much? They ask how much the people make. And you're looking at a person who's working at the hospital who's probably making about $80,000, $90,000 a year, and that's not going to happen in the school system. You're going to start out at $80,000 or $90,000. It's going to be a long time before you reach that amount. So that's one of the difficulties that we have with having enough money, and yet other places, as you mentioned, they have the same problem. So we're all in the same boat, so we're all trying to do the right thing. And we have come up with some reasons, like people who are working in the school system and say want to be a teacher, they're not a teacher. They want to be an administrator, not an administrator, to train them right there in the system so they don't have to go back like I did in college, go back and go to the University of Florida State University, and can't work. You're just going to college getting that extra degree. So we're giving them the chance to get the degree at the school system, and sometimes totally not paid. We pay for it. We pay for the teacher being there, and they don't. So that's a reason to get into the school system too.
So similarly, one of the governor's ways he is proposing that we fill these vacancies, again, not just for Citrus County, but throughout the entire state, is moving veterans into the classrooms, right? Leveraging what they have done for our country, and that gives them the opportunity to be teaching in the classroom. What's your thoughts on that program, and how do you see it being implemented here in Citrus County?
I was involved in the very beginning with veterans in the classroom when we brought the veterans in to talk about, and they talked about their experiences as a person in the Army, Navy, whatever branch of service they were in. And they have a lot of experiences. They don't just, that's not their only one. They could be math majors, or they could be lawyers, or anything else, very different things. So what we're doing in the school system, we're looking at the background of the person who's coming in and then saying, your background and your interest in what you can do seem to suit a math class very well. And they said, well, I don't know, it's been 20 years since I. So we said, okay, we can train. We can take an update. Because as y'all know, updating is every day. You've got to update yourself every day. So we do that. We can update them, and then go out and recruit at different groups that have veterans involved. Go out and recruit there, and we're doing that actively right now, and we'll do more. We'll also bring in mentors, and I actually started one of the mentor programs at Inverness Middle School, and really had about, I think when I left, 35 mentors who came in from different places in the county, different jobs in the county. So we're going to go and access more of those people and get them in the classroom to help the students, particularly those who missed a lot in COVID. And that'll be very positive for the school system. And we have a very strong program going out to different other states and recruiting people. Now the other states probably don't like that, but we get people from those states, particularly like Pennsylvania, Ohio, northeast states who want to get down where it's warm, they don't want where it's cold, so they come. And that's a very strong program. We go out and get those, and get many people from it.
Okay. So shifting gears a minute, the school district is kind of held accountable to these state mandates, sometimes funded, sometimes unfunded. Correct. Mandates that kind of come rolling down from the state. How do you think Citrus County School District has financially dealt with those? Do you think we're on financial good footing? And how have we been able to effectively deal with those both funded and unfunded mandates that come down from the state?
Well, right now we've received money from the state, and it's helping us and putting us in a pretty strong position. But what you're talking about too is the fact that those mandates last only for a while. So this year they work, next year they work, and maybe the third year, don't know, will the state fund them again? And that's what puts us in a very bad position when that occurs, because we've already committed to do the work, but we don't have the money if it's not going to come down in the third or the fourth or fifth year. So we have to then find ways to get that money, and sometimes it's through grants or going to the state again and asking. And I know I've gone to the state before and asked for things and received them. They've been voted in by the legislature, but we have to constantly keep up with it, and we do. And I know every week I take a little seminar, and I talk also to the FSBA, have classes and things every single week. It's an ongoing process. You have to keep up with it.
Very good. Well, Linda, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for watching. And remember, we're going to interview each one of the local candidates, so keep visiting the Citrus County Chronicle website and Facebook page to watch more of these interviews.